pretty limited view of what it could be. Now I want to share another story that will map into a broader view of the telephone, but to start with, I want to talk a bit about these guys. Does anybody know who these four individuals are? Yeah, the Eagles. The Eagles, who are now in their 60s, and back in the 70s, they rocked the nation with hits like Life in the Fast Lane and Hotel California. They had the #1 selling album in the United States. They still hold that title. I was in Miami a few weeks ago, and I went to an Eagles concert. They're in their 60s now. They still sounded great. But it was very striking to me as a technologist and a studier of the future what happened that night. Picture a concert in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area in the middle of the winter with lots of old Eagles fans. You can probably guess it was an older demographic. I felt very young and spry in the audience. I literally did see the most white ponytails that I'd seen. What struck me was at the end of the performance, when typically in concerts of past decades, you would see from the hands go up and lighters come out, and stadiums fill with hands outreach with lighters, which was a sign of appreciation of the performer. Now, that presented a couple problems, that old style of appreciation. For one thing, concert goers like myself who don't smoke always felt a bit awkward when the lighters came out and the cool waving occurred because I had nothing to do. And I am also sure that on more than one occasion, a ponytail was inadvertently set on fire over the years. What's fascinating at this year's concert is what happened. A lot of you have probably seen this and can guess it, but at the end of the concert, in that stadium of 12,000, what looked like 12,000 cell phones rings up to the sky. The lights came on, and it's the new way of showing appreciation. It was very striking, seeing the glow of all the cell phones. And it was striking for a couple of reasons that are indicators that technology has momentum. One of the signs is when there's critical mass, when there's acceptance of base level technology. To see an older demographic like that, where everybody is whipping out their iPhones or their pocket PC phones, so many glowing phones, said, this has really become instilled in our life. The other sign of technology that's gaining a foothold is when it becomes practical. And although it may be a bit of a frivolous purpose, it definitely is a practical purpose, something there's a human desire to do, and there's a way to do it. And then, the final element that I saw that it marks good technology again and again over the years that makes a breakthrough. Kind of a perversion of the original intent, an unintended use of the technology. I know that when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he was not picturing 10,000 of them waving in dark stadiums. So that leaves us with our look to the future. And this is not a real device, but kind of symbolic of what's afoot today. Some of you may have heard a couple weeks ago, Google announced a service called Latitude. You can take your phone, go to Google, register your phone, and then you'll be tracked on a map wherever you go. Your friends, if you choose to give them permission, can go to the Google website, look at you on a map, see wherever you are at any time, or at least wherever your phone is. If your friends wish to do the same and reciprocate, you can watch them wherever they are, wherever they go, at least where their phone is. You can watch each other through their cell phones. Now, the technology has been there for a while. You could always do a process called triangulation. Basically, you use radio towers to figure out where a cell phone was located at. And my company has built solutions like that over the years for clients. With the phones today, it's easier than ever. GPS is built into phones. The hardware is cheaper, better, easier. The software tools are there. And this Google ability to track phones, which, by the way, is a free service. So you can sign up for free and map your phone to anywhere on a map, zoom all the way into the map. You can expect that many other applications are going to result to take advantage of that. Now, you might have concerns about your privacy and being tracked, but if you think about the potential business needs, are there some businesses that would benefit by knowing exactly where the employees are in the shipyard, or on the docks, or in the warehouses, or in a large campus plant? Can you think of personal use advantages? Maybe many families don't want to track each other, but can you think of a scenario, maybe a day at the Cedar Point Amusement Park where you spread out, or a hike in the mountains, or many other circumstances, or a trip to the mall during the busy holiday season shopping where you split up, where that never would have been a benefit. So that leads us to our prediction. But before I step into prediction is, within 5 years, 50% of us are going to be tracked, whether in our personal lives or in our business settings, by applications that track where our phone is. And as you start to map that to things like sales pursuits, delivery pursuits, and others, there's a variety of uses that are going to emerge. So, on to our next area of focus, which is the old-fashioned topic of paper. And we even covered paper in last year's speech, but so much has happened since then that it merits a revision. But first of all, again, to remind us to keep open minds, some words from an IBM advisor talking to the eventual founders of Xerox in 1959.
The world potential for copying machines is 5,000 at most.
And that probably seemed like a reasonable outlook at the time. It's hard to imagine how things can change, but change they do. This is a display of e-paper. It's the new technology that provides updates and scrolling updates through a flexible plastic sheet that has tiny circuitry inside. And e-paper is really shaking up the possibilities in the publishing arena. And the web is as well, with online presentation of forms. And the old models are getting shifted quite dramatically. E-paper recently made its first appearance in a true commercial setting in the magazine Esquire for their 75th anniversary. You can see a couple of cover shots there. And notice the middle cover shot and the right-hand cover shot. There's a slight difference in that white square. That's e-paper built into the front page, flexible just like a regular cover. It was an e-paper display that could show shifting updates. You flipped open to the first page down in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see an advertisement for the Ford Fury vehicle. It's a very high-tech vehicle with a lot of buzz, and they used e-paper for that advertising. So the advertisement moved in front of your eyes, again, on a flexible sheet of paper. The cost of this magazine was only slightly higher than normal. It was $5.99, and that cost was reachable both because of the low cost of e-paper. It's come way down in price, as well as the fact that the advertiser is willing to pay the premium for that type of catchy advertisement. There's lots of predictions on how this is going to continue to revolutionize the publishing industry. The parent company of Esquire's first publications, they also own Popular Mechanics and other magazines, and they have stated their intent that someday they will sell their magazine to be a sheet of e-paper from Esquire, one sheet of e-paper with wireless technology built in as well. And then for the 30 days that follow the purchase of e-paper, you'll get a variety of updates, and you can traverse through pages and articles on the same sheet of e-paper, as well as have fresh content pumped in. And then the month will be over, and you have your magazine with all the content to save, with just one sheet, and you can go and buy another one. So the savvy publishers are on the move, looking to where they head with this technology. Things are a bit rougher in the newspaper industry. Newspapers have been troubled all across the land this year. Many have gone out of business. Many have been consolidated. Recently I talked to somebody that sells supplies to publishers, and they said that not a week goes by that they don't hear another one that's consolidating or going out of business. The Detroit News has announced that their paper is only going to be published 3 days a week from now on. So what's going on with the newspaper industry? Because you would think that they're kind of positioned with it all. They have client relationships, advertising relationships, they had relevancy. Well, a number of things have gone on with the disruptive forces of the web and eventually e-paper, but initially the web. When you pick up a paper today, at the end of the day, if you are occasionally peeking at the web or receiving email news feeds throughout the day, a lot of the news in the newspaper is stale. The medium of paper has turned into a slower